Stephen Jones' word salad proves Cowboys front office has given up. Dallas Cowboys Executive Vice President, CEO, and Director of Player Personnel Stephen Jones shared his thoughts on the roster and said a whole lot of nothing. Anyone who has used the internet has seen the meme of a man holding a stick saying, "Come on, do something." That's the attitude Dallas Cowboys Nation has when it comes to the front office. For the entire offseason, fans were begging for the front office to add a running back and an established WR2. Jerry and Stephen Jones did neither of those things, and it has shown on the field. On Monday, following the team's latest embarrassing loss, Stephen Jones attempted to share his thoughts on the Cowboys roster. Jerry has already said he's confident in the guys currently on the roster and doesn't expect any moves by the trade deadline. Stephen, meanwhile, threw out a word salad during his appearance on 105.3 The Fan and said a whole lot of nothing. Maybe we're good, maybe we're bad. That's the essence of what Jones said. This team is made up of a lot of the same players that won 12 games the last 3 seasons. Right now we're just going through adversity. We've had more than our share of injuries it feels like this year, especially on the defensive side of the ball, he said. I think we have really good football players. At times, we've had spurts when we've played well, and obviously at times we're not playing well. That's some brilliant analysis, Stephen. Anyone who has watched the Cowboys knows the team is not currently set up for success. Dak has been hung out to dry with a lack of weapons, Mike McCarthy appears to be a lame duck coach, and the front office doesn't seem interested in making any progress. But, all in, right? Jerry Jones needs to retire. Dallas Cowboys fans fed up with another loss against the San Francisco 49ers. The Dallas Cowboys have had one of the most disappointing seasons in the NFL in quite some time. On Sunday night, the Cowboys once trailed the San Francisco 49ers 27-10. They made things interesting in the fourth quarter with 2 CeeDee Lamb touchdowns, but the Cowboys lost the game 30-24 against the 49ers. With the loss, the Dallas Cowboys dropped to 3-4 this season. They are now behind the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders in the NFC East. They are only ahead of the New York Giants. As for the San Francisco 49ers, they are 4-4 this season. They are in a 3-way tie for first place in the NFC West with the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks, but Arizona owns the tiebreaker at the moment. Dallas Cowboys fans call for Jerry Jones to retire after latest loss against the San Francisco 49ers. The Cowboys fan base continues to be fed up with owner Jerry Jones time and time again. Dallas did not make the moves necessary to be a contender this season. They are in danger of missing the playoffs this season after winning the NFC East with a 12-5 record a season ago. Here is what Dallas fans had to say about Jerry Jones on Twitter after the game. Fire Mike McCarthy, pointless use of your last timeout with over 3 minutes left. Jerry Jones needs to retire. Dak isn't mobile, hurts the team. Turpin choked with that drop. Fans need to stop going to games. Let that entire stadium fill up with opposing fans. The owner and GM doesn't deserve the support. I've been a Cowboys fan for 50 years. They will never win as long as Jerry Jones is involved. He has ruined this team. Yankees 0-2 in the World Series and now this. Terrible week for Cowboys fans. Sell the team. This season will not get any easier for the Dallas Cowboys. Also, the San Francisco 49ers seem to have their number. The next opponent for the Dallas Cowboys will be the Atlanta Falcons on the road on Sunday, November 3rd. Atlanta is 5-3 this season and they are currently in first place in the NFC South. This is a game that Dallas has to win. If they don't win this game, it will continue to get worse for them. DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons have been dealing with injuries for Dallas this season on the defensive side of the football. Kirk Cousins for the Falcons has played better this season than Dak Prescott has been for the Cowboys. The Atlanta Falcons are in the driver's seat to potentially beat the Dallas Cowboys next week and also win the NFC South Division this season. Another crushing loss for the Cowboys. Is this the end of Mike McCarthy's run with Dallas? With Dallas unable to compete against strong teams, the franchise faces hard questions about leadership and direction. Another primetime disappointment. Is this the last stand for McCarthy? The Dallas Cowboys season, once brimming with optimism, seems to be teetering on the edge of collapse following yet another disheartening defeat. Sunday night's matchup against the San Francisco 49ers was supposed to be an opportunity for redemption, a chance to rebound after their recent blowout loss to the Detroit Lions. But instead, the Cowboys found themselves in familiar territory, outmatched and outclassed by a team they hoped to measure up to. For fans, there was still some room for hope. Dallas may be 3-4, a record that doesn't spell complete disaster in the NFL, especially when the playoff race is still wide open. But what's becoming more apparent is that the Cowboys have yet to prove they can rise to the challenge against top-tier teams, an issue that has plagued them all season and raised serious questions about leadership at the helm. Dallas Cowboys owner and players embarrassed after historic loss. Once again, Dallas entered this game off a bye week, seemingly recharged and prepared to make a statement. Yet, the 49ers quickly took control, exploiting weaknesses on both sides of the ball. By the third quarter, San Francisco led by 17 points, having outgained Dallas 381-167 in total yardage, a stark indication of the Cowboys' inability to keep pace with stronger opponents. The fourth quarter offered a glimpse of hope, with Dallas managing to score 2 touchdowns. But even then, the effort felt hollow, as San Francisco's defense primarily played shell coverage, keeping the Cowboys' offense in check. When Dak Prescott finally had a shot to engineer a game-winning drive, it ended abruptly in a 4-and-out, not gaining a single yard. It's a scene that's becoming all too familiar this season. Back in Week 2, the Cowboys were steamrolled by the New Orleans Saints, 44-19. Just a week later, they faced the Baltimore Ravens, who were up 28-6 before allowing Dallas a comeback that fell short, mirroring Sunday's game. Though the Cowboys outscored the Ravens 19-0 in the final quarter, Baltimore held on for the win just as the 49ers did. Facing tougher opponents ahead, McCarthy's Cowboys must prove their worth. What's troubling is that the Cowboys' wins this season have come against teams struggling to find their own rhythm. Victories over the Cleveland Browns, New York Giants, and Pittsburgh Steelers provided brief respite but did little to quell doubts about the team's long-term prospects. These wins, though necessary, haven't showcased the kind of resilience or firepower needed to succeed in the postseason. Looking ahead, the Cowboys' schedule doesn't offer much comfort. Their next 4 opponents, the Atlanta Falcons, Philadelphia Eagles, Houston Texans, and Washington Commanders, boast a combined record of 22-9. These matchups will be make or break for Dallas, and anything short of a complete turnaround may spell the end of head coach Mike McCarthy's tenure. For McCarthy, the pressure is mounting. While he's had moments of success with the Cowboys, his inability to secure wins against premier teams casts a shadow over his future in Dallas. If the Cowboys continue their current trajectory, ownership may decide that a new approach is needed to guide the franchise forward. So, is this truly the end of McCarthy's run with Dallas? While no official word has been made, the writing is on the wall. As the Cowboys face a daunting stretch, the focus will be on whether McCarthy can inspire a turnaround or if his time at the helm is already drawing to a close.